Hey, Scammy, thanks for coming on in. I I've heard enough of these crazy spaces today, and I actually hope that some FBA people come on in to the space because maybe they'll actually learn something and something uplifting for them for their life for once. Instead of the same echo chambers and the same people telling them the same BS. Hopefully, they can get something good out of their day and they can win today. I'm gonna start posting that all over Facebook. Win today. Um, there you go, man. So you should be good now.
Super Smeed.
Yeah, dude. I had to spend some time with
What?
the kiddos, so I had to get
This
off.
time away?
Yeah, I had to sign off, man, so I could hang out with them and actually like spend some quality time with the kids before they went to
Shit,
bed.
nigga, you say like that's your job.
It
Shit.
is your
That's what you
job.
supposed to do.
Yeah,
That's what you supposed to do, man.
yeah, it is. It's your
Fuck this
it's
app.
your job as a parent, man. You're supposed to do it. You're right. You're supposed to do it, but it's your job nonetheless. It's a really important
Right.
one too.
Fuck this app, bro. Get the fuck off this bitch, bro. Fuck this app.
No, but I wouldn't. They're all going to bed and they're all in their rooms and stuff. But I just, I just wanted to do one about my business, and because the other space the other day went really well. People were really intrigued whenever they started hearing the story, and they, they actually listened. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like because it wasn't the same old honky talking points. It wasn't the same old cracker coming out here with the with his bull jive, you know. So no,
Right.
I wanted to run a space about how to make your business work for you and kind of the things that
Yeah.
I do to make it happen. So that was kind of why I did this.
Mm.
But but yeah, no, that's pretty much why I joined in. But I think it's I think there's a couple. I think you have to whatever you do. If you own your own business, if you don't
Mm.
get people to buy into you, then you'll never level up. You'll never you'll never get to the next stage in the process of where you need to be.
For sure.
So, because if they're not invested in you, then there's no way that you can. There's not enough money, time, effort that you can invest that's going to win them over. So they have to be bought in, and it has to just come naturally. So
Yeah.
that's like one of the things I did for my business is I have maybe six core clients that I do, and I'll say it on here because nobody's probably gonna re-listen to this stream. But you know, but I do about $12 million a year in sales, and and I'll just tell you, it's between 15 to 20% profit margin, and it's just
Mm.
me. So you do the math. I'll make I'll make between 1.8 and $2.4 million this year minimum. So, and obviously I gotta pay taxes on all that. So whatever everyone talks about, like, you know, oh well, they're not tax negative. You're not paying enough. You're not. No, I pay more than enough. I pay my share and your share and Tariq's share and Shaniqua's share to get us somewhere close to tax positivity. But no, and one of the things I did because my first year, my first full year, I only did $1.5 million in sales, and the
Mm.
difference there was two things. So for both sides of the coin, I have to be really good at finding material, and I have to be really good at selling material. So I have to know. It's just like being a drug dealer. You have to know where to go
Yeah.
get the stuff at a certain price, and then be able to go. sell it at a certain price. And have the right person that's going to have the right money to go ahead and do that. And now I'm not. It's very very similar to a drug deal. This stuff is that's why a lot of drug dealers could probably be really good businessmen if they really applied themselves to doing that. Not saying I may or may not have done that in my past, like 20 years ago, but that's those same things that you're doing for that type of business is the same thing in any type of distribution business or brokerage business.
Yeah.
And so you're levying out relationships that you have, but you got to be good at both. You just can't be a good buyer and then not going to be a good seller, or be a good seller and not be a good buyer. And so that's where I really took the leap forward for my business, was in the relationships that I had with people I was selling to. I moved away, so it wasn't going to work enough to just have me go sell everything. I had to get somebody else bought in to go sell my stuff for me without me paying them. That's what I had to do.
Mhm.
And so the that's what I did. I found other larger 100 million, $200 million distribution companies, and
Mhm.
I got them.
Oh, hold up. We got a racist white guy here. Yay. You mind leaving this space? No room for racism here, buddy.
Hail the Samoan race. Samoans forever. I'm a Samoan supremacist.
Oh, so now you're some Asian guy,
No, I'm not Asian. I just wish I was Samoan.
some fat Asian guy.
Dude, the Samoans, they're the master
Bro,
race.
according to our indoctrination, then you can be anything you want to be, including any gender you want to be. So, if you're Samoan,
No, but like
what's
I
your
want to
new
be
name?
biologically Samoan. I want to have Samoan build.
Oh my god.
Samoans are only fat if they choose to be. If Samoans choose not to be fat, they're absolutely ripped beasts.
I believe it, bro.
You know
Because that's the
what?
thing, like,
Go ahead.
what were y'all talking about before? I didn't want to jump in and interrupt, but I'm thinking about this Samoan shit, and I already got like a whole tangent ready. So like, if you want to say what you want to say, go ahead.
That's not what
Bro,
this is about, yay.
You're right, exactly. See,
This
dude,
is
sometimes people just say things, and I might be autistic. I just start thinking of tangents, right?
this
And I'm
happened the
working on
other
that by
day.
not saying my whole tangent.
No, this is what Lobo did to my space the other day when Chatical, me, and Scammy were just having a really great conversation about life, and then he has to talk about, oh, the Nigerians and the Africans. Like,
yeah, bro. So
Scammy will
fucking.
drag you down, but he's funny. This motherfucker earlier was like,
no, it wasn't
Henry.
Scammy. It was Lobo that did it.
Uh,
Scammy was just talking life and talking
now
real shit
Scam,
with me.
that's real Scammy, but sometimes Scammy will say some shit like earlier in that space. I was like, Henry Ford was
No,
Jewish. That motherfucker.
no,
That
actually, no.
motherfucker.
Scammy tends to really respect my spaces for whatever reason. I don't know
Oh,
why,
that's
but
good. Yeah, what were you guys talking about? Motivation? Dude, I felt super motivated today, even though like I
oh,
did a fuck up. But this morning I woke up, it was like 4 a.m. I have this like app now where I do a math problem when I wake up to make sure I stay awake. Works really well. Like I'm surprised. It's only like 3 or 4 numbers long of a problem, but you start doing the PEMDAS or whatever in your head. It really gets your head working. You know what I mean? Gets the gears churning early in the morning
yeah.
or whatever. And yeah, that worked out well. I got that. I went ahead and got a black coffee. I was sipping on that. I felt good. And today it would have been a super demotivating day had I not felt like that this morning. I went into work and I had to, like, I've only been here for what, like, it's my third or fourth week. I don't even know now. But I'm leading a new guy, a newer guy around the place. I'm telling him everything, where shit's at. I'm leading him and another new guy, and I'm already fucking in charge of these two people. Shit goes quick. I'm giving them orders, walking around. I feel like when I'm in charge, though, I feel really motivated. You know what I mean? Like, when I'm not in charge, I'm like, oh, come on, hurry up. You know what I mean? I feel lazy, but when I'm in charge, I'm like, hey, do this. We got to get this done. I got to find this shit. Because I don't want to look bad. I don't want to look like a weak leader. So I'm just like, I'm motivated. I'm working hard. and we just spend the entire fucking day looking for a scissor lift, right? Like a lift to go up and down and work on this valve.
I know what a scissor lift is.
Yeah, some people don't. You know, I didn't even know what it was before I started working here. To be honest, I'm a young guy though. You've been in construction, Ben,
That's
so you
okay.
know. But you know,
I do know.
yeah, we got to work on this valve, and I'm fucking. We go up and down. It's like 4 fucking stories. This building. We go up and down, look both ways, and then we go to the other buildings. We look at all the other buildings, look around, not in there. And then, like, this is what I spent like 5 hours doing this morning. There was like 4 hours this morning. First hour, we pulled another valve off that was easier to get. Like, you know, this would have fucking demotivated me. And like, even after lunch, I felt a little bit. You know, I was like, oh, come on, we gotta find this shit. You know, now my dad's helping me. We got pretty much everyone that's on the company looking for these our scissor lifts. They're nowhere to be found, nowhere around the fucking place. And you know, I still
Why didn't
felt
you
good.
just call up the? Are you renting them or do you own them?
Well, we're renting them from someone, but we're not renting them
Then
directly. It's like through someone else. They got a tracker on them.
no,
Is what
no,
you gonna say?
no. I know. So what? Well, they usually have trackers, or B, they can tell you where they dropped them off at from their truck because
Well, we've
usually
had them
the
for a
lift company
while.
has their own truck. So,
For
well,
a
oh, then it
while.
means
The
that you
problem
probably
is
moved
like
them.
other people. The problem is
Yeah,
other
other
people
people
and
move
other
your shit.
companies out there working it are fucking with our shit. Yeah. So we probably need to get the tracker located them. Cause like we fucking
Well, they
walked
have
around. There's
like
like 4 or 5 buildings out there that we walked around. I walked up
Oh, dude,
like
you
I
have
looked
to. Oh,
halfway
you're
through
on
the
a
day.
bigger
I
bigger
walked up.
job then.
What did you say?
You're like on a big job then, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty big. It's a paper
No,
plant.
don't say no, no,
Dude, it's not gonna
don't
fucking
dox
dox
it.
me. What are you gonna do? That's all you know is it's a paper plant. You know how many paper plants are in America? Probably.
Well, I know where you're at, so no, we're not going to
Yeah, you know
discuss
where I'm
that. And
at.
I already, and I,
You know,
well,
you know where I'm
yeah,
at.
I do, I do, dude. That's the
All
problem.
right,
I
okay. Well,
know.
DM me where
My
I'm
buddy
at.
was in the, my buddy was in this business, so I know what the paper planes are.
Dude, there's a lot
So,
of these. There's a lot
well,
of paper places, dude. It's not
I know,
specific at all.
well,
Yeah, you're fucking. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
there's one major company that is probably the best guess in the assumption for it, but I'm
well,
not
the
going to
thing
do it.
is I
So
don't work for the major company. I work for a company
I
that's
know you work for the
contracted by
con.
that company.
I get it. I get it. It's okay.
But yeah, what I'm saying is, you know, it's a big place. Yeah, we're walking around. Fucking take all day just walking around this motherfucker. You know, I still feel pretty good. I look at my health app on the iPhone like halfway through the day. I've already walked up 17 flights of stairs. You know, and it's like I don't know if that's even a lot. That's not really a lot, to be honest. Now that I say that out loud, but you know, it felt
17
like a lot.
flights?
Yeah.
That's a lot of stairs, dude.
Well, it's not all at once, but yeah. Up and down. I haven't looked at it. That was halfway through the day though, so it could be like 38 by now. Dude, the moon looks big as hell right now. It's like big and red, kind of cool. But yeah, man. I don't know. I think leading for me, just personally, I feel like when I'm in charge of someone, like I feel go get her, go get it done. You know what I mean?
That sounds like some really awesome white supremacy you got going on.
Well, hey, come on. The guys I was leading were both white. Okay, they were both white. You know,
Good.
just whites. The whites with
True.
whites, man. It's all white.
Okay, good. Anyway, it's not, I mean, I'm glad that you're feeling good about being a leader, okay, and that you feel better about being in charge. But, you know, the true leader doesn't doesn't need people to lead. And it sounds funny, huh? And the true leader doesn't need people to lead. And why is that? Because true leaders just go off and go do their shit, and people just follow them regardless. And what it sounds like is a is that you do a good enough job get these guys corralled, but you have to make sure you're motivated regardless if these people are around or not, because you're just cheating
Yeah, I
yourself.
get what you're saying with that, but I'm saying like I feel like just the act of me like having to corral them around is motivating me. Like that in itself
Well,
is the motivation for me.
but that shouldn't. Okay, you can be motivated that way, but that shouldn't be your motivation. Your motivation should be like, when I wake up today, like, I'm gonna go win today. I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna go get my bread, and I don't care if there's two other people for me to be in charge of. I'm in charge of me, and I'm gonna go get it. And so that should be your motivation that you're alive and you have breath in your body and your lungs. Spoods, what's up, dude? If you want to talk,
Well, yeah,
I'll
I
give
do
you a
have
mic.
like I'm saying like extra motivate, but I have a baseline of motivation. I'd say like when I wake up, I have my book, my catechism book, with the picture of Jesus on it. Right when I wake up, that's the first thing I see now. That I feel like that motivates me a lot too.
See, okay,
Seeing
now
Jesus when I wake up, that's my phone wallpaper too. Is an
yeah,
icon.
see, that's a good. See, I can be down with that. Like your day should be about how you're, being the light of Christ to others, right? That's part of it. The other part is winning it and then being that for yourself. So, and by the way, Spoods, I try to give you an invite to speak. Um, if you want to talk, send me a request because for whatever reason I can't do it. So, or you're just not accepting. Either way, it's cool. Um, but no, man. Like I said, you're everything that you do. Like you're if you're motivated and you're there, then others are gonna like feel that positive energy and they're gonna feel that on and they're gonna want to be a part of it, which might be part of the reason why they're vibing and you're feeling good and they might be feeling good about you helping them out. But just remember to always take care of yourself because that's what the leaders do. The leaders take care of themselves first. They don't take care of everybody else. They take care of themselves first. And then everybody else leads and follows the path that the leader is doing. Because then they know, okay, yeah, he's taking care of him. This is how we do it because you do it by example. You don't do it by telling people what to do. You show it by example, which is probably what you do. Hey, this is what we're going to do today. Here it is. You get your hands a little bit dirty. You show them, and then guess what? They get to learn. And then they start to do it. And then you don't need to show them anymore because you've already showed them. And now and that's called leading by example. And that's the best thing that you can do as a
Oh yeah,
leader.
that's the fastest way. That's the only way I can learn. Really, I can't fucking learn sitting in a classroom reading from a textbook. I'm not gonna be able to apply that shit. But I gotta see it in action, and then I gotta do it. That's the only way,
Well, Well, and
me at
there's
least.
that's how a lot of men are, right? That's how a lot of men learn. Um, and we we're visual creatures. So and we're by physical touch. So everything that we do, we have to look at it and touch it and feel it and examine it and make sure that we can fully understand and grasp what we're doing because we're not book. I mean, there's a few there's a few men that can do book learning and they're professors and they're rocket scientists and they can not only book learn but they can also build stuff. They're like engineers or they're like Elon Musk. The dude can probably take apart a whole Tesla engine and put it back together, and he could probably teach you a class about like all sorts of like coding and all sorts of fun stuff, right? He's like the master jack of all trades. He's like the ultimate jack of all trades. He's like, and Nikola Tesla would be like the same way. Men that are like that in life, they're just rare. They're just rare in life. Period. That they can do these things, and so that's. And again, this goes back to what I'm was wanting to talk about as far as like a business because I own a couple of them, and I actually the so I have a real estate company, and everybody's got a real estate company, and it's not because I'm like selling real estate; it's because I bought stuff and I have like different properties or whatever. But anyway, um, but I have another company, and I've got a meeting about it for tomorrow because this is going to be the company that I'm able to really propel my business and move myself forward. And it's going to help me work for me. So, like, just like the way, so I was telling Scammy this, I went, my business, in year one was $1.5 million revenue business, typically 15 to 20%. That year it was 20% profit margins. The in full year two, I hit close to $12 million in revenue, and I was closer to like 15% profit margins. A little bit less, but nonetheless, I did okay. So the difference that I was explaining about all of this was I started getting other um, brokerage companies and distribution companies that are much larger than me to buy in to me, buy into my business and my model. And so they would sell me product and I would sell them product. And since supply chain issues were there, I have a ton of product I have access to that nobody else does. I've made a lot of business relationships, and um, not everybody could do what I do. like, it's just not possible. That's why the business only runs. Like someone was like asked me the other day, why don't you just like go sell your business? I'm like, it doesn't run without me. So it's not like I can go sell it as an asset to somebody. I am the asset. And so eh, I get to live a really nice, free loving life and kind of do whatever I want to do. And I make a ton of money and I have a lot of fun doing it. But I would tell you there's always strings attached. There's always things that are attached to that kind of lifestyle and to doing that in your life.
But do you feel like you said you had that meeting tomorrow, which good luck on. But
Yeah, it'll be huge.
my question is, do you think that that kind of responsibility, that pressure, would just motivates you by like just nature of it existing?
No, because that's not the motivating factor. Like my business and making money isn't the motivating factor. Like the
But
motivating
that's
factor.
I'm asking like the responsibility of like serving your clients, the anticipation of it, the
No, no,
really
no,
for me like I feel
no.
like pressure motivates me, responsibility motivates me. You know what I
No,
mean?
now responsibility to my family motivates me, right?
Yeah,
Like I have
that's
like
one example of that's another responsibility that I think of. I think of my responsibility to myself, my country, to Christ, stuff like that. But like I don't know, I feel like any like those are all responsibilities. Those are like base level motivations, right? Which are like I have to keep up from a day to day. But when I have like extra responsibility, something important, I've always been this way. Like I've always been like a procrastinator, do it at the last minute and get it all done. And the pressure just like motivates me to do better than I would do if I just did it slow. I feel like I do it better and I do it faster if I have that pressure on me, if I have that huge responsibility.
well, once I had children, that became the huge pressure and responsibility, and I went from somebody who was, kind of just, you know, kind of like a fart in the wind is the way how I treated life. And then once I had children, and I knew I was going to have them, I knew I had to be better. And it wasn't just for them, it was for me.
Now, not
And
to get too personal, Schmiegel, did you were you planning a family, or
yeah, yeah, I was
yeah?
married.
So for me, like for a while, I was like an atheist, and I didn't want to have kids, and blah blah blah, all this crap. But a while ago, I thought to myself, I do want to have kids, and that's something now I want in the future, and that is one of the things that motivates me to get up
Hold up,
and
yeah.
to
So
work.
you didn't grow up Christian,
I grew up Baptist until I was about 12, and then I
and then
became like a cringe atheist and went through weird phases of like agnosticism and believing in like spirituality. Then eventually I was like, well, I don't want to get too much into it. I became Christian again. Now I'm becoming Orthodox officially. Um, and, that's my story. But now I want to have kids. That started like maybe 9 months ago. Really, I mean, I feel like I've changed a lot in the last year. That has to do, I think, too, with me going to the gym and all and losing a bunch of weight. But yeah, like I said, I just want to have kids in the future, and I want to make sure I can establish myself before then. As much as I can, possibly can. There's never you're never done really establishing yourself until you die. But just do as much as I can
Wait, wait
until
until
then.
you're wait until you're like 30 years old and then get yourself a younger woman like in
I was
her.
gonna wait till like 26, but yeah, maybe 30.
No, 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 because here's what I'll tell you. Um you want to wait till you're 30, because and then you can go after prime time would be 23 to 25 to grab her. If you can get her at like 21 or 22, I mean, good luck. but most
Wait,
likely
her
you're
22 years old,
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah, like getting a woman. Um,
wait, hold on. She would be 22, or I would be 22.
no, no, you would she would be 22.
Oh, I
Like
don't know,
that would
Sméagol. That's a little old for me. But maybe I'll change
oh
my
my
mind when I'm
god.
older.
Yeah, you will. You don't want her like as much as what you see
Look,
on the
look,
you see
22 is
these
ringing
dudes.
through. No, I'm just playing.
No, most of the time not so much. Usually it's once they're like 27, 28, 29 they ran through.
Yeah, you're
But
probably right.
you get okay, we're not talking about like you're gonna go find like crazy freaking whores, dude. Okay, trap. You can keep saying no on that,
Look,
but
my
most
goal really
20.
is like I don't even know if I want an American woman at this point. You know, I just like
Oh, come on.
not just because like the oh she's a hoe, but like she grew up in
Dude,
America,
it
like
is
with the
over
American.
exaggerated about this
No, but I'm not
whole
talking about the
these
hoe stuff. That's not what I'm really talking about. I'm talking about
no,
like
I'm not talking about that either. It's
the
over
American
exaggerated
like
about
regime brainwashing or whatever. It's like I don't know if I
okay,
would deal
but
with that.
this is where it takes place for you though. Okay, this is about you becoming the alpha male, an alpha man. Women that you start to court, if they truly are into you and they want to be with you, they will literally start to follow and do
Oh yeah, that's
as you
true. I
are.
was able like I've only been in one relationship, but when I mean I was able to just boss her around and basically give her opinions. It's not hard to do.
No, but like I had my wife converted to Catholicism for me, basically,
Yeah, that's
in
real.
that
That's
family.
real.
Okay, so like this is what I'm saying. Like, but you have to be the alpha. You have to do that, and you have to be the guiding force for that. So if you're not doing that, then then they're not going to give a shit, right? But that's your role as being the man, as being the alpha man, is to do that and to give good guidance, not to be evil or to slight or to do these like wrong things. You're supposed to be good, a
Yeah,
force of
I
good.
agree. I know what you mean, Schmiegel. I mean, I agree with you. Women pretty much are followers, and if they're not following you, they're following a gay Jew, pretty much. That's it. And you can get them to follow you if you're a secure man and you're confident, all those things. But I don't know. It's like maybe if I'm 30, I can go for a
You won't have it.
22-year-old.
You
But
won't have
she
enough
couldn't have gone to
wealth.
college. If she's 22 and she went to college, no. But if she didn't go to college, maybe.
Well, if she dropped out, it might be good too. Or if she had like a long term relationship, you want to find girls that had long term relationships that were in like college or whatever, because it was probably minimalized
No, I
of
want
how things happen.
virgin. That's the goal, but it's gonna be
Okay, good
hard.
luck.
Yeah, that's like that's
But
what I'm saying. Like these American women, it's
oh my gosh,
impossible.
dude, it's a global pandemic for that shit. So listen, like I said,
Look, you
you
talk.
can.
Look, I wouldn't want in the white world. Yeah, I'd agree. But you talk to some of these girls in like the Philippines, they're like super trad or whatever shit
Well,
like that in some of these countries.
I'm not having no half Filipino
Yeah,
kid.
I don't want
Fuck
any
that.
Asian kid. Yeah, that's what I'm
Well,
thinking.
unless
Like
that's like
probably
with your like third like if that was like God forbid my wife die, then actually I would probably go Asian, but not Filipino. It'd probably be like Japanese.
well the Filipinos. I mean, aren't they're like
No,
half white sometimes?
no, that's no, they're not very bright.
It's kind of like the Mexicans
Is
that were, you find a
it,
few of them.
no, well, okay, we're not talking about the mestizos. We're talking about the ones that like actually came from the Spaniards. Those Mexicans are like they look white. Same thing with like the Colombians. Yeah, where they're basically white people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
you can
about like
go.
what about Eastern Russia though? What do you think about that area? It's too fucked. I mean,
No,
I know that's like it's actually way more degenerate than people make it up. It's
I'm not mixing. Listen, I'm not mixing with any slot, and I've already heard the fucking horror stories because those Russian whores don't fucking respect American men. Period. It doesn't matter how alpha you are; they'll never fucking respect you because you're
Not
not
Russia,
Russian.
but like
Well, it doesn't Ukraine. It doesn't fucking matter.
Belarus.
No, they don't. They only want to fuck with their men, and then they come over here, and it's basically just to fucking get money. And
Mm.
they'll act the part, but they'll never truly want you
Maybe
in
you
your
know, maybe I
life.
need a nice Irish girl with red hair and blue eyes. You know, that would be a good.
Dude, they didn't listen. Like these are like fair. Like, can it work? Sure. Okay. Given the right set of circumstances and you have the right amount of money, sure, you can make anything work in your life. But I'm going to tell you this right now. Like, the culture that you're indoctrinated in, that you're into in America, like, you're going to be able to mesh with somebody here better than any other Anglo or white person around the rest of the fucking planet. Like, it's just, even though the bitches are crazier here and they're not trad, but they don't respect their. I mean, like I said, unless you're in the 1%, which is why I'm telling you, you got to be like 30 years old or older before you start to settle down with for a chick. Like, truly start to look for somebody, because you're not going to have wealth. And then once you can have some wealth, then girls are going to start to respect you.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, you're
And so,
probably right about all this. You know, in all reality, I'll probably find like I kind of joke around, but you know, I'll probably find some nice, you know, Southern girl or something like that. You
yeah,
know,
that's what you need to listen. That your aim. No, 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 no. Don't go like I'm gonna go find some. Like, it has to be in the area in which you're in. Be in the area in which you're in. So whether
yeah,
you're, I don't, and I'm not
I'm
gonna
not
die.
gonna like go
So if you're out
living
west,
hunting.
if
That's
you're,
cringe.
well, unless you're in like California, then you're kind of fucked. Like, move. But like, if you're in the South, pick a Southern girl. If you're in the North, pick a North. If you're in the Midwest, pick a Midwest. And if you're out west, if you're not in California, any other place, or Washington outside the cities and Oregon outside the cities, you're
Yeah,
okay.
I'm not in the South, but you know, I'm a Southern guy in my roots,
Well,
we'll say.
okay.
But
Well, listen, but they're, again, these are like cultural things, and it's not to say that you couldn't find
yeah,
one,
yeah,
but they're
I
not
know
going to
what you
have that
mean. I
same
know what you're
respect.
saying. Like, you know, I mean, I like grits. I don't eat them often, but I like them. I like fried pork chop and cube steak and deer and all that shit. You know what I mean? Biscuits and
I got,
gravy,
I
chicken
got,
and
like
dumplings.
I said, dude, see, I talk about all this stuff, but like, and I know all of these things because I've listened to tons of the pickup artists and a lot of these like advice for men. Um, in fact, what's the one dude's name? He just died. Was like Kevin Samuels. He was great. Um, totally on point about people in general. Just a person that knew about people. Um, but it's these rules apply to everyone, especially in the United States. They just are applicable. And it's just really, really tough to try to talk to young men like yourself and give this advice over. It really is.
Yeah, Schmiegel. I mean, I don't know. I joke around, but I mean, I think I agree with you mostly. Like, you know, I don't want some girl that doesn't fucking share anything in common with me. You know, she doesn't know how to make biscuits and gravy. Like, honestly, like, how is it gonna work out at that point? You
Well,
know,
or
like,
she'll learn for you. Like,
yeah,
see, here's the thing. Like,
but like,
you can't, you can't
There's a
just think of
difference.
it.
No, like with biscuits and gravy, you got to know how to make it right. Like the cheap shit is just not as good. You
No,
got to
I
make it.
understand this. Okay, listen. What I'm trying to get at is like, all right, you can meet, if you're that dude, right? Then you can have her, like, because not only is it just to, oh, you're just gonna find this like perfect girl, like, because these just don't exist, because the culture that the whole world is in, that they're cooking and cleaning and doing all this stuff, it just doesn't exist anymore,
Yeah,
right?
maybe what
But
I'll do is I'll when I turn
you
30.
can get her to do these things for you. You see what I'm getting at? Like, if
No, no,
she
yeah, you're
truly
right.
wants to be with you
You're
and do these
absolutely right.
things,
Yeah, yeah, you're
then
100%
she
right.
will follow your lead, and she will want to do these things for you. She will want to cook for you. She will want to clean for you.
The
She will
only
want to be
issue
for
is
you.
right. She falls in love. She let's say we get married and all that is like you know what happens if she you know like something happens or whatever. Like you've seen these
Dude,
egg
and what if
things
you
on
die in a
Reddit.
car crash tomorrow?
Yeah, but I'm saying like I'm
Uh,
planning for the future here. I'm planning for the future in like
yeah,
a
well,
future
dude,
marriage.
you're gonna take. Listen, you gotta, at this point,
Yeah, but
you're
I'd rather get in a car crash and fucking die or break my leg than go through a divorce and give up half my money. You know.
I get it. So that's why you gotta do.
Prenup.
and this is some yeah, I
You have to
didn't
get
do
married in
this
a certain
because
state. Yeah.
well, dude, how about in any state you get prenup?
Well, no,
But
no. The prenup thing is, if you look into it, it's different per state. So in some states, it's like doesn't really mean shit. Really, the judge can just overturn it. But in some states, it means something.
well, fine, fair enough. But
I've looked
what
into
I'm
it.
trying to well, listen, I didn't do it because I got married in my 20s, and um, I actually like love my wife, so like it's and I got lucky. And I always say this too. I always tell people this. Like I got super like so I give this advice out about what to do, and I know and I realize like in the world it's like 35% of their first marriages are going to end in divorce, and then the second marriages it's another like that number jumps up to
Well, in
50%.
America, I
That's why
think
you
it's
see
like 50. But yeah.
no. It's because after the first marriage is 35 to 40%. It's not, and then the second marriage is where the real divorce rate pops. So goes
Gotcha.
in, it goes in the same pool of these divorce rates, and
Yeah.
that's like
Yeah.
close to 60 or 70% of second marriages end in divorce. And so we got Lobo. I'll let Lobo
What's up,
come in
Lobo?
though.
Yeah, I don't know. Just it's like I'm not gonna go woman hunting or anything like that. That's fucking cringe. You know what I mean? Like if I meet her, I meet her. Just not pressed about it. Like yeah, like if
Yeah,
I
what's
meet a
up?
good woman, I'll
How's it
like
going?
meet her and have kids.
Oh wait, what's your
we're
name?
just
E2,
talking
whatever
about.
the fuck. You said Nigerians are dumb in Nigeria. I'll beat your ass if you said that to my face.
Okay,
But I
cool.
know you. Yeah, I know you're acting all bold on here. But like, I mean, no, like, you said,
Yeah, bro, I'm scared of you.
and of
I'm
course, because
scared,
you're far
man.
away,
Shiver
bro.
me boots. Yeah,
No,
I'm
not even
shivering in
that.
my
It's not
boots
that.
right
It's just
now.
like Nigeria. We don't have the resources. We don't have the. We don't have access to resources. That's why they're not doing well over here.
Why don't y'all like go and get the resources or
I
something?
don't know. It's hard. It's a corrupt country. Like the government doesn't care
Yeah,
about it. But I'm in
yeah,
America. You
man,
know what
it's
I'm saying?
rough. Yeah, I mean, it's rough for it was rough for the Europeans for a while. They couldn't get gunpowder. They figured it out though.
Oh, they did. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever they did, but yeah, you guys
Yeah,
use
they
our
were able to like
resources. You get money
travel.
from us. I mean, well, you make money off of us because you get our resources, right? But there's still rich Africans. Obviously,
I mean,
There's
some.
people that are rich in Nigeria. My aunt lives in a mansion. You know.
I mean, we live in a global trade. We get resources
Yeah,
from everywhere. So,
I'm just saying though. Like, I mean, not all. I mean, my aunt lives in a mansion in Nigeria, so not all Nigerians doing terrible.
like, do you think a Chinese person's gonna come here and be like, "Oh, we support because we help back. Oh, we send you all the products. Oh, like Chinese people don't bitch like that. You know what I mean? Just grow up.
Okay, nobody's bitching. It's just what it is. It's a colonial. Nigeria's a colonial state, but like, I mean,
I don't think it's a
it,
colonial
it was
state. No, it's
it's a
not
failed
accurate.
colonial state made by the white man. I can't lie about that.
It was.
It was.
All right, well, just like I don't
Thank
know,
you that you
man.
said it
Like
was
I
because
don't.
all these
Well, I don't.
no
I
no
don't
no
why
wait.
should I
Thank you that
care?
you said it
Honestly, I
was
don't
because
care.
all these
What
black
about
Americans are always saying
Ethiopia?
that like, oh, we're controlled by the white man. We're not controlled. We have our own country, but it's a corrupt country. It's just corrupt, like
We have our own country, but it's
selfish
a colonial
officials.
state, dude. I don't. Which is it? Which is it? Are you controlled by the
No, they
colonial?
keep
Like,
saying it. They
is it
keep
just?
saying that
Does
we're
it matter who
controlled by the
you're
white man.
arguing
The
with?
white man's taking our country. All this. It's all a cap. Like, how is that possible when we have black presidents and all the black leaders? Like, everybody's black there. There's only like 1,000 white
Well,
people
I
there.
mean, we have Joe Biden as a president here, and he's
What?
not really
I know.
in
No, this is
control.
America. This is a white dominated society. You know, like it's true.
No, what I'm saying is Joe Biden's not in control, even though he's
Yeah,
president.
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Whites
yeah.
aren't in
President.
control.
You said whites aren't.
The whites, yeah, whites are not in control.
Oh, who's in control?
The Jews.
Jews are white.
No,
No,
they're
They're
not.
not. You sure?
no.
No.
They're
Yeah, I'm pretty
all the
sure.
Jewish kids I knew were Caucasoid.
Wait. Was the
Hey,
was
look.
the so if Jews are white, was the Holocaust against
They're
white people?
genetically no
No,
wait
no, I
wait
have the. No,
genetically
I have the
white. They're
best.
genetically European, right? Like the Jews I know, they're Russian,
No,
they're fucking German, they're also they're white people, but they're not like typical. They're not Christian white. You know what I'm saying?
Lobo,
no, but they don't. They don't
I'll
classify
explain it
as.
like this in a serious way. They don't see themselves as white, right? They see themselves as another group, and they think that they're a special group and that they're better than us.
Do
So,
you
like,
hate the
yeah,
Jews?
it's Jews. No, I don't hate them. I love them and pray they repent and turn their life around for Christ and all. But they can't keep having power over Christian countries. We have to make sure they're under Christian laws.
Yeah.
There's actually a good clip of Morgan Freeman talking about Black History Month with Mike Wallace in an interview, and he asked Mike Wallace if
I
he would have a White History Month, and Mike Wallace goes, "No, I'm Jewish."
oh wow.
so
I thought
No,
that was
Jewish
going
So
in
people are
another
white because
direction,
I got called a
Sméagol.
nigger by a Jew. Like,
no,
yeah, Jewish people are
no,
white. Like, they're still white people.
no, they're not though. Like they don't.
Wait, hold
It's
on,
not that.
Lobo. If a Mexican calls you a nigger,
No,
you
yeah,
wouldn't
he's
say the
Mexican. He's
Mexicans are
Mexican,
white.
but a Jewish person I see like he's a white person. He has the same kind of hair as you, hair textures, skin color. You know, like genetic, like
They don't
phenotype,
have the same hair
phenotype,
texture.
morphology. They have the same. You know what I'm saying? Like they're white people.
No, they got big noses. We
Not
don't have
all.
those
No,
like
a lot of the
rich,
Jews I
crooked
met were white
noses.
and they didn't have big noses. A lot of Jews I went to school with.
Well, it depends on how much they bred with whites, but like the main thing is
Oh
I
wait,
see
so
it
the
as
Jews were actually from Israel, right? And then those people aren't white; they're like Middle Eastern, right? Is that what you're saying?
well, no, they're not from Israel. They're from
Yeah,
Judea.
whatever.
They
I
are
don't know this whole
Judea. They're
Jewish
not
history. I don't
Israelites.
really care too much, but no, I want
Yeah,
to
it's
learn
all
more. You
good.
gotta tell me
So
more.
what I'll say is
Oh,
that they're like from the Middle East and they mix with like white people, and they've also mixed with blacks and like other groups. But the main thing isn't really like their actual skin color. The main thing is how they see
Oh,
themselves,
okay,
right?
yeah, just
So
okay, socially.
right, so they see them
not
see
socially.
not
It's bigger than just being social.
yeah, like they
Yeah,
see
so the
themselves
Jews
as like
run
a
everything,
spiritually
and
better being.
yeah, so it's really the Jews that run everything, but they make black people.
But it doesn't matter though. Like at the end of the day, you have individual responsibility to yourself,
Yeah,
and
that's
you have
true. You gotta
and
step up
guess
for
what?
yourself first.
You make your own choice about if you're gonna get up and if you're gonna go take a
Basically, yeah,
job,
that's
if
basically
you're
what it is.
gonna
All these
do
people
this, we're
crying
gonna do
about
that.
reparations.
Well, Schmigel, what I say is like you can't institute Christian law. You can't bring back Christian values
How?
if you haven't brought Christian values back to your own
Wait,
life.
wait. How
If
about
you
this? How
haven't
about who cares
worked
about religion and just
at
in
it
general?
yourself.
Just live life and pay your bills and fucking retire.
Well, I care because it's the truth.
Yeah, but
Like
here's the
it's
thing: like
spiritual
Nigeria, no,
warfare.
so Nigeria is so Christian and Muslim. Like we're a religious country, and we it's illegal to be gay, but you guys allow homosexuality in this country. We're like you go
Yeah,
to
it
jail for 14
sucks.
years for being gay in Nigeria, or you get stoned to death,
That's based.
huh? Because we're
That's based.
religious, and we don't believe that because we're like hardcore Christians, we're
Yeah,
hardcore.
you also have the problem though, where like all the Muslims and Christians are fighting each other. That's like a
Yeah,
problem.
that's true.
What
That's
up?
true.
What
But like,
denomination are they?
Muslims and Christians have been fighting since forever, and in the Bible, like Muslim Christians.
Yeah, I know, but the problem is like they're in the same country.
Yeah,
Like
but like it doesn't matter if they're in the same country. It's what
it's
it is.
becoming a
Like
problem in like
it's what
the
it is
UK and
because
like other
yeah,
European
like I mean because of
countries. It's
religion.
not just
The
is what it
Quran, they
is. I
were
mean,
fighting
that's
Christians. They were killing Jews and Christians like in the Quran. Like it's just what it is. And they were
yeah,
right next to each
yeah,
other. That's just
that's correct. Like these religions have been fighting for a long time. You know, Christians have been fighting Jews.
yeah, like
It's been
the
Jesus
the
versus the
Crusades. You
Pharisees
know.
for a long time. But my point, I mean, just because that's is what it is. I mean, this doesn't have to be the way in the
I'm not
country.
big
You
on
know, we
religion. I don't even care. Like I was
deal
forced to
with
go to
it.
church and all that stuff. A Christian. My grandfather was a pastor. I don't really care about it. I was just
What denomination?
I don't even remember Baptist or some shit like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's Protestantism. You know, it's kind of
Oh
gay
no, yeah,
friendly.
yeah.
You
I'm a
should look
Protestant.
into
Protestant. I'm Protestant. Yeah.
yeah, look into Orthodoxy.
I don't even
That's
care.
how you do.
Just pay bills and live life
Well,
well,
well, listen,
hey, how do you guys feel about the
we're gonna.
FBA and reparations? How do y'all feel about that?
No,
Well, I
I think
mean,
you're trying to change the topic here. No, I think
listen,
we should talk
we're
about
not
that.
going to talk about. I'm not going to talk about that in here. If you want to go
I
make your
apologize.
Lobo,
Okay,
if
I
you
won't
want to
bring that
make
up.
your own
My
space.
bad. I'll be respectful.
Well, no. It's just if you want to make like
No, no,
the reason why.
I'm Nigerian. I talk shit to these FBA. I talk shit to them all the time. I make up.
No, it's not about that. I get that. What I'm trying to say is that we do spaces all day with all these people that put this stuff up, and it's fun and it's hilarious.
Yeah,
But
it's hilarious.
I
I
just
try to roast
ran.
them about it, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
I get it, but we're just like trying to talk about like
Yeah,
life,
I got you. I feel it.
and
Yeah, I think we should talk more about like Jesus. Like, I think we were on a good track there. You
no,
know,
we can interject. The whole thing was about your life and how you're going to win for your in your business and in your life and what you're going to do. Like these things are all applicable to everybody, and that's why I made the space. I'm not going to have it like go into this whole deviation if somebody else if you want to run your own space about
No, no,
FBA
I'll
or
join the top. I want to
reparations,
join.
go do it.
I'll listen to you. You know what I'm saying? I'll join in the conversation. I'll not talk about
yeah,
All
something.
right,
Schmiegel, I get what you're
all
saying,
right.
but like even that for me, you know, I feel like that's been really the light in my life recently. It's like that's what's really inspiring me. And, you know, it is applicable to everyone. You know, this is something that everyone should strive for, is my opinion. And you know, it's the right thing to do. Everyone should strive for it, and it's really does like change your life in a big way. Like if you
Well,
like coming from an atheist background into this, it's like I just see the world so differently now, and I feel like a different person completely, entirely.
but
Are you
you
atheist?
also again,
I used to
oh,
be.
you
I'm not.
was.
I'm becoming orthodox.
But you have a personal again, but it all comes back to, and this is whether you're in as a Muslim, in all the major religions. It's about taking personal accountability and responsibility for one's actions, and that those actions have reverberating effects across the board and in life, and they affect people all around the world of what you do and what you say and how you say it. And that is the that is the biggest thing that I see. That everybody can make their own choice in this. So even though there's tons of levers that are being pulled in life that you have no control over, you have, you know, I I don't run the stock market. I'm not at the bank. I'm not the banker. I'm not the guy giving out all the loans. I can't even get loans. Many of you can't get loans for mortgages, loans for anything. Um, that's not the that's not the thing. You can't worry about those. You can only worry about the choices that you're going to make individually in your life, and that that is the biggest hurdle that all of us have to make in our daily lives. And for some of you, it's how are you going to pay your next bill for your electricity, and for some of you, is how am I going to save up for a car? How am I going to save up for a home? And for people like me, it's what's my next piece of property? What's my next watch I'm gonna buy? Is it a Rolex? Is it a Hublot? Is it a Richard Mille? Those are, you know, it's all different from all different walks of life. And I got described this as like the escalator of life. That there's two escalators, and there's people going up it, and there's people going down. And you see people that go up that are way higher than you, and you start to go up the escalator, and you start to see those people on the other one, and they're coming down. So don't, and that escalator goes up pretty high, and you really have to watch what you do and how you do it in this life. Otherwise, you could get on that escalator that goes down instead of being
But
on the one that goes up.
Sméagol, what I'm saying is like, for me, like I don't know, this is like this thing where I'm becoming orthodox. It's like the whole thing. It ties into everything you're saying right now about you can't control some things in life. You can only do what you can do on this earth, and you can't worry about how everything's gonna end. All you can do is make the best choice right now, and the best choice that you can in the possible future. You can't make all the decisions. You don't know what's gonna happen in the next 5 minutes. You don't know if a fucking earthquake's gonna happen. All you can do is live your life the best you can right now, and don't worry about the future. Have plans, right? But like, don't be setting everything. Don't make everything the future your whole life. You know what I mean? Make
It has to be today.
now everything out. Yeah, exactly. Make it
Yeah, that's why
right
my
now.
motto is win today.
Exactly. Just
Like you have to, because there is,
there
I
could be no
realized after
tomorrow.
almost, well, after I almost died, yeah, there isn't a tomorrow. As much as what people want to tell you there is, there may not be. You may not wake up, or you may go out for a ride in your car, your truck, a mile from your house, and you get freaking front ended totaled, and you're done. It's
Yep.
over.
And
Lights are
that's
out. They're
but with the
gone.
escalator thing you were saying, right? It's like you could be making choices that put you on the escalator down. I'm not going to tie this. I don't tie this into heaven and hell because that's like a big thing where I
No,
don't.
it's not. It's
I
not.
don't worry
It's
about.
not.
No, no, I know, I know. I don't worry about that. I don't even think about what happens after I die. I don't really like.
Well,
I mean, I
that's
care,
not
but I
the
don't think about
relation
it.
to that correlation, though.
I know, but what I'm going to correlate it to is when you make the right choices, the choices that God wants you to make, you are put on that path upward towards a better life here on earth, right? You are going to have heaven on earth, right? And you're making bad choices, you get put on the pathway towards hell on earth. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about afterlife or any bullshit like that, right?
No, no, no. I get where you're going
But
with this.
real life,
You could.
like right now, you can make your life better by serving Christ and by being the best person you can. And that is serving Christ. You know what I mean? Doing things to make your life better, to have children, to make the people around you have better lives. And
Well,
thus
you
boosting
should
your
be
life.
wanting to make other people like. Listen, to whom much is given, much is expected. I mean, that is a. I don't know who said it, but it. But guess what? If you don't give, like what is it? Like in giving we receive. I mean, all these like corny shit. Like when I gave a whole bunch of my money away, it was I knew the organizations, I knew who it was, I knew where the money was going, I knew who it was going to. That made all the difference. I knew it wasn't going to somebody's bank account. I knew it wasn't going um, to serve, and maybe a little bit goes to somebody's bank account, right? Because all that money has to go. I mean, has to go to somebody's bank account. But it's for a good. But the majority of that money, I knew, it's going to a good cause, and how it's going to get spent out, especially with the amount of money that I was that I was writing checks for. Um, it's, but that's we see all this stuff on TV, and so much of this is an illusion. And these people are they run that what is going on is sick and absurd. And the more money I make, the more I get to see of it. And maybe one day I'll get to let you all know because I'm making like 50 to 100 million a year, and then I'm no longer able to stay in the shadows. um, and if that day comes, that'll be a really tough day. Because I'll basically just like have to move out to like the middle of nowhere to
Smeagol, that's the
take.
day you open up like Groyper BlackRock and you start fucking investing in these companies and you start like meddling behind the scenes and being like,
No,
no
see
gays.
but again, the bigger overarching um issue is that people, like, if I don't get people to follow and to follow my lead, and they see what I'm doing and they see it's for good, then it's all for naught. Like that's the ultimate crux to what Groypers and America First, even if you're not like truly like America First, but you're just America First aligned, that is the hardest thing for people because it's become synonymous with the word Nazi, it's become synonymous with the word white supremacy, and the the overlying issue is that it's so much bigger than that, and because they've made it into these buzzwords, then you get people like Lobo and you get Uncle Cabas and all these FBAs and all these other people, not just them, but tons of other people that come in and they lose sight of what we're trying to do here. And um and maybe it's because that hasn't been fully that idea hasn't been fully formed out yet, right? It's not fully there. And this takes time. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, and Nick is only one man. And so, but it takes the rest of everybody else to help to further, the understanding about what's truly going on. And I'm not, you know, the other issue is that I'm not that leader to go ahead and to make the 50 to 100 million to become having Groyper BlackRock, which would be hilarious, Groyper Rock or something like that. That'd be great. But and I need a hell of a lot more than just 50 to 100 million. Like that
Yeah,
doesn't do
yeah, you
anything.
need like
Like you would
trillions.
literally have to have, yeah, you need $1 to $2 trillion to. I mean, think about this. BlackRock has $9 trillion in assets. Vanguard is number two, and they have seven. So that's $16 trillion worth of assets that's under management of both
And what's
BlackRock and
crazy
Vanguard.
about
That's just
Vanguard,
two
I
of the
looked into
top.
it. Like BlackRock owns a bunch of Vanguard too.
Yeah, and vice versa. They're all interconnected and intermingled, and how they spin these webs and how they do it all. And so it's like I said, it's the bigger what you can do though, if you do have 50 to $100 million, what you're able to do is you can organize people better, and you can provide jobs, and you can look at specific industries, not just in finance but in other things, where you can make your mark. And really it should be out to like a consumer market, um streaming, and basically B2C, business to consumer types of businesses that can drive home a cultural change. And that's really where having the overarching money. And the biggest issue though is that there's nobody that, even though Nick's a Zoomer and is tapped in, nobody was willing to really truly give Nick the amount of money that he needed in the platform to build, um, to really get some significant like traffic. And that's like the saddest thing, because all these conservatives talk a big game about what they want to support, and that they're not going to support these businesses, and then guess what they do? They buy everything off Amazon, and then they buy they get Microsoft, they get that software. They don't buy Apple, or they don't buy a Samsung. They don't buy KitKat
They don't
software.
get Linux.
They don't get anything that's different than what's the mainstream. They don't actually boycott with their dollars, and they wonder why it's ineffective for them, but it's so effective for others. The small fringes, and it's because they get people to galvanize to not buy those products, and that scares the shit out of every single. Because here's the thing: to a liberal lefty that owns a business, they are willing to burn it down and make no money. Look at what happened with Amazon. They made zero profit. They didn't care. They didn't make a profit. They didn't care. And they pissed off a whole bunch of conservatives that did leave. Same thing with Disney. 2.5 million subscribers from Disney Plus gone in a quarter. Huge amount of cash flow, huge amount of operating cost loss. They didn't care. And that's because that's not what because they're idealists, and conservatives are about making money. And until conservatives are willing to lay down on the line and lose their business and not make money, until that happens, there will be no change. None. Because that is the only way that you're going to force change, is when you're willing to literally not make anything, lose all your money, cut off, cut jobs, cut people. Until you're willing to do that, then guess what? I mean, look at all these big Google, all these companies were willing to go ahead, cut all the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of jobs all across the board. Amazon laid off 70,000 people last year. Never got talked about in media. That was like, that was almost 5% of their workforce laid off just last year. Not a peep. Not one peep. And that's because they don't care. And until people are prepared to lose it all, then it's it's all for naught. It's all for naught. And that's why conservatives don't win. Because they're not willing to put all the chips in and lay all the cards out on the table. They always got to have something in their back pocket, and oh well, we'll make a deal. We'll make a deal. Make a deal. Democrats don't make deals. They either get the deal that they want, or they don't make a deal at all. That's how, and because they're willing to lose it all and then restart over. They did that, by the way, in '04. In '04, they lost it all. And they said, all right, we'll rebuild. And nobody thought they'd find a candidate. And they did it in 3 years. And they put Obama up there. Had 8 years. And they were willing to put all the chips in on Hillary. Rigged all the elections. Lost it all. They're going to have another 12 years of presidency. Another 12. Because they don't care. Because they don't look at today. They don't look at time and effort. Because they're moving everything culturally, socially. They'll win, and they understand that those things move the needle, and that's how they'll win. These
Yeah, and
ideas about taxes, topics, all this stuff. This is why Nick is so right, because they don't care about money. They don't care.
yeah, like but the thing is with these companies, the reason that I think personally, I was thinking about it, that they just don't care about like these boycotts or whatever, is because really, I mean, people just have short attention spans these days, and it's not like something that releases once for like a week or something, and then that's it, right? It's this is perpetual. This is going to be like sure you can boycott it for 2 months, but people just start buying it again after 2 months. They don't have the
Well,
attention
look
span
at
these days
Pfizer.
to
Look at
really even
Pfizer.
stick to it.
So look at the Project Veritas guy. James O'Keefe is about to be forced to resign tomorrow from Project Veritas.
Why?
Why? Because guess what? He was like Icarus, and he got too close to the sun. And guess what? He's gonna melt. He got too close. He found somebody in the web. And isn't it funny? There's no more news about that black dude, that black gay fairy. There's
Oh yeah,
nothing.
I mean,
There's nothing now. And it was a news item for a week.
it's
And
probably like
now
the
what?
first real thing that Project Veritas like ever fucking
No, no,
ever
they've
not
had
real,
tons
but
of
like
shit.
the real like big thing. It's crazy
The
because
real
like you think.
McCoy, huh?
Oh my god, that's a good. Speaking of, you're cracking me up. That was a
Yeah.
perfect fucking timing. But no, I'm saying like like Project Veritas didn't expose stuff, but it's always been like low level of this weirdo at a school or whatever.
Oh,
This is something
They got
big.
this. This is big as fuck. And guess what? Swept it. They had the billions of dollars, and they were able to get to every single board member at Project Veritas and blackmail them. Every single one.
Dude, why would a place like that, dude? Whoever fucking made
No,
it
it's
into a
not about
boardroom.
it's dude, listen, you have to understand. Like there's it's a non for profit organization. And so they have these board members that have to be on there as part of the organization. And they all listen, James O'Keefe can't be gotten to, but they all can. And that's what because and here's the deal. Because there's always a price. There's always some in this life when you make money and when you put yourself out there, you're going to sacrifice something, right? So you're going to sacrifice blood, your time, whatever, your body. Well, there's also another price that you're going to pay. And that's the price of are you willing to sacrifice everything in your life if you're this high profile figure? What are you willing to sacrifice them away? Are you ready to do it? That's the thing. Are you ready to sacrifice yourself away? Now James O'Keefe, he had that happen to him. They couldn't get to him. They couldn't get to his family. They can't get to nobody around him. But they can get to all these other fucking people.
This
And
is
they got
why.
skeletons in the
This is why
closet.
people. We need strong Christians leading. We need people
No,
who
but
would
it's not even
die
dude,
for what
dude,
they
there's
believe.
it's not just like again, this is the difference between having a conservative organization and a liberal one. These liberal people are in a literal cult. And what are cult followers willing to do?
Well, then die.
They're willing to die, and they do not care if family members of theirs die. They don't care if they die. They don't care if everyone around them dies. They're willing to die for their cause. So this is just like Christians, early Christians were literally willing to be like, burned at the stake, crucified, chop their heads off. Don't give a shit because I truly believe in Jesus Christ. Okay? That is what these people in the liberal left are literally willing to do. The same things the
Yeah.
early
Did you
Christians were.
see? Did you watch? Nick did an interview with Vince James, and he was talking about this exact thing, about how the left will, like liberals and the left, like people like Destiny, specifically, he brought up Destiny. He brings him up a lot because he's like a good little foil to him, he says. But how like pretty much they look at the world and they'll see, they'll be like, oh wow, religious people are really strong on their values, and they'll believe that really hard. And instead of saying, well, that means religion is true, they'll say it and say, well, that means we need to create something like religion, and that's pretty much what they've done. Like, I'd say it's Holocaustianity, and that maybe it's not just about Jews and the Holocaust, but it's this idea of being a Nazi, quote unquote, whatever that even means now. Is the only sin. The only sin is to be a Nazi. You know, and
Well,
it's like
this is.
if you're
I mean, I saw that. the people use words. This is why somebody was talking about in another space about like, oh, that word, that's what that word means, and you, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, words develop different meanings over time, all the time. About like,
Exactly.
look at the
Yeah.
word gay. Look at the
Exactly.
word gay. The word gay initially meant happy. It didn't mean that you a homosexual. And now gay is derogatory. Like gay was the way how gay people wanted you to call them, and now you can't even use the word gay. You can't use alternate meanings. Oh, that's gay. That's stupid. No, no, no. I said that in a bar at a hotel, and the guy told me you can't say it like that. That's not PC.
Bro,
And
you really said
I
that's
said
not PC?
no. You know what I told him? I was like, I don't give a fuck. Pour me another drink. And you know what? He
Real.
backed the fuck down. You know why? Because who's
Because he's
the
a
alpha?
bitch. Yeah, exactly. He's a bitch.
Because because at the end of the day, alphas, and this has been the biggest problem that we have basically been told by these churches to back down. And that's because they get 501, they're 501c3s, and I've tried to argue this before, and people say, "Oh, you can't say this stuff." Yeah, I know why you're telling me I can't say this shit about your pastor being told what to do by the government. I understand that you really like them, and that basically it's from the Jews that's come down from on the 501c3s. So that tells everybody to basically, submit to the government. Um, and that's why they were telling people to go get COVID shots, and they were paid to do that, by the way. And that's come out that they gave billions of dollars not only to um, social organizations that were private places, but they also gave them to churches, by the way. So, and that's come out in different documents, and we can thank the Epic Times for that. That's done a lot of really good reporting. But again, these are these are things where, unfortunately, there are just so many people brainwashed, and then they get so enamored in their life about making money or about making this or doing that. Like even myself, like if I get into a zone, I won't be on here for like days, and I'll just be in a zone of just making money, and then I have to come back to reality, and because it's really tough, man, when you see 50, 100,000, $500,000 deals on the table, and you get them, fuck, you get addicted so badly, and you got to stop yourself from yourself. But anyway, I'm probably gonna end the space just because
Yeah,
I'm
you're
getting
good.
tired.
Yeah, I get what you mean though with the whole like when you become like addicted to something in a good way. You know,
No,
you
no, 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 no. You don't. No,
not in a
you
good
don't
way.
want the. No, these addictions, even if you think they're good, you don't want to be addicted. Silence do good. Our good friend Benjamin Franklin. Uh, Everything in moderation. You don't want
Well,
addiction.
I think some things you shouldn't have at all. But
Well,
yeah, I get what you're saying. Everything in
well,
moderation.
you get where I'm going
Yeah,
with
yeah.
that.
What I'm saying is like, when I started going to the gym and all, I just kind of stopped fucking using all my like personal social media. Is that a cat in the road? What is that? No, it's not a cat. I stopped using like all my personal social media like completely and just kind of went into like a black hole of like not really looking at that shit anymore. And now all I use like Twitter or something. I don't do anything public anymore. I don't have my face out on anything. I'm just anonymous on everything. So
Yeah,
yeah, I get
man.
what you mean. I would barely even ever look at it or post on there at all. I just thought it was stupid.
Yeah. Well, anyway, dude, I appreciate the time as always. Thanks, J24. Thank you, everybody else, for coming into the space.
Yeah,
I'm gonna,
much love, Schmiegel.
yeah, dude,
Shout out
and
to
I'm probably gonna like head into another space and just hang out. So,
you, Schmiegel. Let's go.
yeah, let's go. All right, you guys all take care. Bye bye.
Yep.